Welcome back. Another day, another video. How are we doing? How's it going? Hope your day is going a-okay. Today I wanted to dive into sort of newsy topics. It's more on the side of disguised as news. You might even be able to say fake news because it doesn't affect your life. But this new book has revelations we haven't heard of. Some of them are quite interesting. Let's see if we can make this hopefully funny and not just entertaining. How about it? All right, so what do we got? There seems to be two schools of thought coming from the Pentagon saying we don't know what these three videos are. One being basically that they're lying, or they don't know all the facts. And the other is these are non-human intelligence. There were even some dead bodies found. This book is on the side of, I overheard dead bodies were found. Aliens. And we do have to approach this with a bit of assumed knowledge about environmental factors, like you're writing a book for profit. You're probably going to talk about your private life and your family, which is therapeutic. This guy's from the CIA, so television, upcoming documentaries, attention. How do we parse out with no actual evidence? But even despite the fact that there's two offshoots here, most of the stories are quite similar. Am I wrong? Right? So here's some new things that came out that we haven't discussed yet. The orbs. I can't even do this with a straight face. That you might be seeing on, say, a show like The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch are encapsulated by a electromagnetic frequency bubble. Saucers, same thing. I guess it's supposed to nullify the effects of gravity. The Tic Tac, or giant flying propane tank, has 2. Triangles have 3. Squares have 4. No, I'm kidding. And say some boomerang-like thing that we might have seen in the Phoenix Lights would have multiple bubbles where the 5 lights were or something. No evidence, but it sounds credible. He mentions how Roswell, they found a couple dead bodies or more, or mentions 2 or 3 locations where multiple bodies were found. This sort of David Grush type stuff. You're starting to see why Grush and Dr. Greer don't. He even discusses the autopsy results of the brains being smooth. This is also hearsay, and then he mentions how there's a volleyball-sized orb floating through the hallways of his house and going through walls and stuff. But I'm still stuck on the remote viewing stuff. We haven't talked about that yet. So I looked into it a little bit, and partially the reason why this video isn't out as soon as I would have liked it to be. The first Google result, CIA.gov, has a 1995 178-page document that was released a couple years ago. An evaluation of the remote viewing program. And you could read it. The first 3 pages basically is a summary. Basically, the CIA wants a new sponsor to fund their remote viewing stuff, and the government wants an independent review. So they get these guys, non-profit, independent researchers, 2 of them, and 2 professors, 2 doctors from Oregon and California, universities of, and they go through all the lab results that the CIA did. I should mention one of the doctors was skeptical, the other had published articles that looked at paranormal interpretations positively. It sounds like they didn't know how much information they were going to get, because then it immediately says they also tried their own lab studies, which they said produced more hits than misses. And you kind of wonder, are they just trying to get more information from the CIA? So then they reviewed the CIA's intelligence documents and ultimately concluded that there was never any consistency. It was inaccurate and required substantial subjective interpretation. They even go on to say that their own methodology was weird because of their interjudge reliability, but also that the remote viewers were vague and ambiguous, which just means, I had to look it up, basically using words that could be interpreted as 2 things. And it makes you wonder, MK Ultra, how well that went. UFO whistleblower Michael Herrera says they're abducting third world children to use their brains to fly these things. Even though that's the other side of that might lend some credence here. I'm really trying to keep this funny, guys. And now we go back to Lou's book, and it's starts to feel a little bit like there might be some ambitious beliefs, perhaps. I don't know. We, meaning me, I tend to sit on the other side of this. But perhaps if there's dead bodies, then we could all kind of slide a little closer back towards the middle. That's a little more fun, a little more comfortable maybe. I really can't get out of my mind this The Infographics show on YouTube, Black Ops whistleblower guy, where it's just quotes from this dude who says he worked in this program, and the whole thing is not even his voice, but animated as well. Still sticks in my head. Anyway, I'm not going to ask you guys what you guys think. This video has become too long now, and if I'm successfully practicing correct discipline, we're trying to trim down the ends a little bit, right? So hopefully I didn't confuse you, because I feel like we might have made a little bit of progress here. And you continue to have a great rest of your week. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys as early as tomorrow, all right? Okay, cheerios, toodles!